Oh, it's doing this again.
What's it doing?
My laptop has this issue where for some reason, it's phantom pressing like Control or Shift or Alt, and whenever that happens, I have to delete all my keyboard drivers and plug them back in.
Oh, that sucks. Well,
and it only works for like 5 minutes.
Which means I better go retweet and promote the stream. People come for the crochet, but they stay for the cat.
They do. No. What are you doing? Oh, she wants the rest of the salami, Bronny.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what are you waiting for? Give me the rest of the salami.
So you're really getting a better habit of posting the links.
I like posting them as we go live.
Before.
No, as we go live. Because then they don't click on it and be like, oh, it's not started yet. I guess I'm going to leave. My freaking method is flawless, bro.
Sure.
That's how we've gotten this far.
We've gotten how far?
Pretty far, I guess. There's some people who
We've been here for a while. It doesn't mean we've gone very far.
You just don't get it. You just don't get it, Ronnie.
No, I don't. You're right.
You don't get me. How do you not get me yet?
You're kind of crazy. There's not much to get. How are you doing today, Emerald?
There was a way to take this chat out.
I'm doing reasonably.
Go to the dots pop out chat.
Ah, that's how we did it.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was just like, there was a way we did this.
Knife, would you like more salami?
He said no. He's like, I'm leaving, you fucks. Go wash your hands.
I'll just eat the salami now.
No, but she was licking your fingers. You know where that mouth's been? Her own butthole.
Where's the hand sanitizer at?
Girl, I don't have any.
How do you not have hand sanitizer?
It's actually in the box.
You always
right there.
You always have like several bottles. I suppose she didn't like that.
Yeah, the noise that she doesn't understand. You ruined my organization.
It's loosely packed, Heather.
What scent do you want? You want marshmallow pumpkin latte?
You know darn well I can't smell.
Feline good. Oh, that makes sense. We're doing feline good.
Is it gonna make me smell like cat? Because if I wanted to smell like cat, I could just go hang out in the laundry room for a while. It's a good thing I had the reflexes to close my fingers, otherwise it would have just drifted straight to the floor.
Nope.
Oh, hey, there's some cat scratches I didn't know I had.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You live with a knife long enough, that's what happens. All right.
Brandon's in the chat.
It's big. I don't think this was the thing I was using. I think I was using this to make, what is this, an eye hook? Yeah, this was what I was using to make rainbow monkeys.
All right. Angel of Speed says hello.
What's up?
Is this video supposed to be unlisted, Heather?
No. Let me go fix those settings real quick if it's like that.
Yeah, YouTube changes their like default settings all the time. You gotta
Let's see, stream settings.
It's going to be.
Oh, you know what? We probably didn't fix it after we did the test gaming stream.
But we did a regular stream after that.
And that one was probably unlisted.
Yes, that was a different stream. Your Casa Crochet profile was altered.
Oh, okay, so let's just hit edit. And hit... let's go to public. Perfect, done, save. We're golden.
Indeed we are. But it's too late. The algorithm has already shadow banned us.
No! Okay.
Now's the perfect time to talk about how the 2020 election was rigged.
Now's the perfect time to just show your tits or something.
I do not have them.
You don't have this senpai freaking necklace for nothing. You have them.
I'm not senpai, I'm sensei.
That's a P. This is the life you live.
This is the life I chose. Alrighty then.
Just switching over to the smaller hook.
But Brandon's here. He said I had a hard time getting here, but here I am.
Good. How y'all doing tonight?
Silver Brony
I am
survived.
having computer issue after computer issue.
Yeah, and did you ever get to the bottom of that? What was going on?
Yes, I finally did. And I didn't tell Heather before the stream because I thought this would be a little funny. So you remember how when we were building Heather's computer, hers wouldn't turn?
Yeah.
You remember what we figured out it was after 10 hours of troubleshooting?
It's a DOA RAM stick.
No, there was something else, wasn't there?
No.
No, it was the RAM.
Yeah, we thought it was like 3 different other things that we tried to troubleshoot before we finally figured out it was a dead-on arrival RAM stick.
God, that was such a punch in the gut.
Yeah, we spent like
You
a
know
week
why
on
I'm
that.
asking?
It's the same thing, isn't it? One of your RAM sticks went dead.
Yep. Not dead, thankfully, but... Well, actually, unthankfully, because that would have been pretty easy to figure out real quick. But no, since it's error-correcting memory, it just kept correcting the errors until it couldn't correct them anymore. And the worst part is, because Windows deletes its logs after a week, I don't even know how long it had been struggle bussing along until it finally gave up.
That's the type of thing you would have to like have it notify you of. What am I doing?
You're gonna get like that?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to crochet now?
Yeah, do you
Okay.
remember how?
No. So, round.
No.
Nope.
We're just doing a regular single shape here.
Okay.
Should I do one? You're gonna find the stitch.
Okay, we get to play with hopscotch.
Just put your hook through it. You're gonna wrap once you get to the other side and pull it through. So you have 2 loops on the hand. Just do the loop again and pull that third one through those 2. Pull, make it tight. Alright, just watch me one more time.
Okay.
You put it through the stitch, wrap around, pull through the stitch. You have 2 loops. Wrap around one more time, pull through the 2 stitches.
Okay.
Think you got it?
I can try. There's really no way to do that quickly. Let's see here.
I don't think you're going into the right angle.
Hold up. Yeah.
Yeah, because you went in, but you went in from the wrong side. You got to go into the front side. For the
Oh.
front cups.
Okay. So that looks more like the inside to me. So stick.
Well, it's facing front, like when it's in from your direction.
Okay, and then
Wrap around.
wrap.
Not too much, just like that, and like turn your hook so you hook it into the stitch.
Okay.
Yeah, and you pull it through. Yeah.
I'm not pulling it.
You gotta. Yeah. You're wrapping it too much, honey. You're gonna have 2 loops come in. Here, you're. It's because your hook isn't turned the right way. So wrap it like that and just pull it through like that.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. It's not coming through easy.
Yeah. Well, you pulled it straight. Now put your wheel through that. So see, you have the 2 loops now. Now just wrap one more loop through and pull through those 2. Try to put it through loops. You're kind of just yanking through it because the yarn will eventually just stop pulling and stop. See, look, you got the 2 holes. You just got to make sure it goes through the holes and not just through the yarn. See?
Yeah. I was trying to do that.
I know. So, just like the stitch, just try to fit it in through the openings that it already has. Don't try to just stab it through. See, sometimes it'll try to put you through threads, but you want to go through the thick part.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of lay it against the yarn and pull the string through the loop you came through. Now
Mm-hmm.
2. Lay some more yarn on there. See there.
I'm also noticing the way you had the yarn in your fingers was kind of like this, and I feel like that's important.
Geez, I think that might be something I do subconsciously because I sure as heck don't notice it myself.
It's certainly a lot easier to
Yes. Yeah.
weave it now.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect! You did it!
We
Yeah.
hold tight.
Pull tight. Good
Okay.
job.
Yeah.
Just doing that around all the way around until we get it to about this.
That seems short for a celestial leg.
It's pretty fat leg. Look, if you look at the body, it's gonna make
Oh, okay. Yeah. Man, Celestia got thick.
them.
She's been laying on those banana pancakes in her retirement.
Buttermilk.
Yeah, we did. We made some of those out of your cookbook a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
You did. We're very delicious. We didn't have fruits to go with it at the time, I don't think.
Yeah.
But you did make them from that recipe, and they were very good pancakes.
Yep. That cookbook, not a long time, almost a year ago. I mean, I bought her the My Little Pony cookbook for Christmas, and that's proving to be a very worthwhile investment. We've gotten a lot of use out of that cookbook. Okay, I feel like I did something wrong. This thing's not really pulling.
That's
Right here.
okay. We can always just take the hook out and then just start over. Pull it through those things. You probably just pulled it through like the you know how yarn is just a whole bunch of little tiny strings put together. You probably just pulled it through some strings.
Okay.
So let's just go over the motions again. I have my yarn. Like try to make sure that it's like a thick piece that's not unraveled or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know the motions. And there you go. Try it.
Okay.
Sometimes you just get a bad pull.
So read some chat while I try to do this.
Yeah, I was looking for some. Charles B said, "How many takes did it take Mr. Bronny to do that Fresh Prince parody in this video?"
One.
Just one. Behold.
I mean, the key to getting it done in one take is rehearsal. So take that for what you will. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, and the chess club is where he spends most of his days, spitting out math, thinking anime is cool, getting stuffed in lockers every day at school.
Oh, Angel Speed said, "You have such a cool hoodie, Brian. It matches Heather's gamer chair." It does.
Yeah, we got a lot of black and red going on in here. This is a Jin Kazama, like from Tekken hoodie. I've got like the demon symbol on my back too, but yeah, you wouldn't be able to. It's just, your webcam drives me nuts. It's all mirrored, and I have no idea which way I'm facing. It's just this symbol, but in red on my back and really big. Yeah.
This reminds me of like an insignia you could get in Halo. Like if you play Halo 2, and I even think some of the modern Halo games have this symbol that kind of goes like this. And it's like an elite symbol for the Sangheili. It kind of looks like this.
Interesting.
I wouldn't be like surprised to say that it looks like it's inspired by that. I know, like when they were having like when Machinima for Halo 2 and Halo 3 was big, like a lot of times elites would have that insignia on their shoulder all the time because it looks very covenant.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tekken came out a lot sooner than Halo did.
Yeah, so I'm sure like it was inspired.
Mm-hmm. What else we got going on in there?
Charles Bees asks, "Do you have the MLP cookbook in your house currently?" It's the baking book, and yes, we do. You know, most times when I have to make something, or I just feel like making something for an occasion, I go to that book first and see what I have to make something, because it has like everything in it. Like I said, it has pancakes.
I'm turning this up.
It's okay, honey. We're here to learn.
I just undid like 3 stitches.
That's okay. It's not a big deal. Just take your time. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, so what about the cookbook?
But yeah, so it has everything. It has things from pancakes to French toast to cookies, tarts. Like there's these gem tarts that I really want to make. It has the cherry chimichanga in it. The cherry chimichanga, guys. And pies, cakes.
What am I doing wrong? Here, watch me do.
I'm watching.
So I'm gonna go through,
Mm-hmm.
and it's at the very end that I'm having trouble here, right? So I pull,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 on the loop.
and then I pull again,
Mm-hmm.
and
You know what I think your problem is? You're making the stitch too tight too soon. So like wait until the end to tighten it up, because when you tighten it up, it makes it harder to pull through the loops. You gotta
Okay,
keep
so
going.
do I release?
Like how you have it now is fine. It's just like it was a little tight. So what I'm saying is like when you put it through this, like when you get to the part where you're making loops, like kind of do it loose so like the openings are big and you don't have to pull as hard or just stress out the yarn. Yeah, keep these openings very open.
Let me
Tighten them
let me
in.
let you do a couple more.
Okay.
And while I do that, I'll pick some chat here. Let's see. Oh, we're scrolled way the heck. They've been talking. Brandon says I've been staying the night at my mom's boyfriend's house. He gave me the basement to sleep in. The basement is legitimately giving me the creeps. Yeah, that basements can be like that. I know my parents' basement can be pretty creepy sometimes.
A little creepy when we were in there. The dog was
We
there.
had plenty of distractions. We were watching TV, cuddling, we were petting the dog. It was we're good. Honeydrop says medical alert bracelets and medallions should be color coded based on the medical need of them, and service dogs should also have a medical tag for making the medical issue the color coding to help reduce the time needed to figure out the medical issue for paramedics. I thought they were already.
If not, great idea.
And they certainly could be. Yeah, if they're not, that would be very good. But that could also have the drawback potentially of, so you go, imagine this. You've got a bracelet that says heart condition, and then you need an ambulance for something that's not a heart condition related, right? But the paramedics show up and they're looking for something correlating to your heart condition. So they're just looking in the wrong spot. This is of course assuming that you're unable to communicate for yourself. I could see that leading to some kind of misdiagnosis. But they do have medical bracelets now that'll give certain instructions to let them know about certain things anyway. So if they see that, they'll check it and they'll take it from there. They'll still figure out what's going on with you, but they'll just take into what's on the bracelet into consideration when they treat. All right, so it's the tightening part that I was having trouble with.
Yes, yeah, keep it loose throughout the entire thing until I'm at the end and I pull everything in, and then I pull on the string and tighten it up like that.
Okay.
You want to try?
I'll try again.
So, that had me thinking, when I was browsing TikTok a while back, I was getting, on my For You page, a lot of stuff about people who have, service dogs.
Yeah.
And just things about that. And what I found really funny was that one incident had a girl. She was, I forget what her condition was, but she was starting to go into like, I don't know if it was like an attack or like a very mild or minor episode or something.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was her dog, of course, was trained and realized something was happening with her. So the dog is trained to take her someplace safe where she can get help. And she took out her phone and started recording because she realized where the dog was taking her. The dog was taking her to the vet.
Oh, jeez.
The dog's like, hold up, you know somebody who could help you with this? And she goes like, it's not a bad idea, because we had to go to I was going to take him to the vet anyway. He didn't know that, of course. But like, I was going to take him to the vet anyway. We got to go into our appointment early, and I told him what was happening with me. And one of the vet's techs actually like made sure I was in good condition for when the paramedics showed up to take me to the doctor.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, it was funny, and that's a bad thing. Vets, I would have seen.
Vets are doctors.
Vets are doctors. I mean, they are for animals, but like, I assume they can help you with rudimentary things.
Just for the parts where human and animal anatomy cross over, which is, if you're dealing with a mammal, there's a decent amount of. I did something wrong here going in. There's a decent amount of crossover.
Who's going to car over?
Fun fact: human antidepressants work on lobsters.
Those lobsters got feels. Are you saying they found depressed lobsters? They gave them it?
I suppose so.
Where were the
Or
lobsters?
they were testing on lobsters.
Why are you testing on lobsters?
They're gonna look for something with a similar genetic code, for whatever they're trying to test. I'm screwing. I'm all twisted here, Heather.
Let me check a look.
But they're gonna look for something with a similar structure to a human, and for whatever it is they're trying to test, and they're gonna test that and see if they're like, because they can't just ask a lobster how do you feel. They're probably gonna scan the brain for activity, and if it's releasing the chemicals that they want it to release, in time with the way they're giving it the medication, that's probably going to be how they draw some of their conclusions.
So I was gonna say you didn't do anything too wrong. Like all I had to do was take the hook out and pull a little bit, and it loosened up because you had just put extra yarn in the loop somehow.
Okay.
You just got to be careful you're not like grabbing onto anything extra.
Why don't you take over for me?
Well, but you say you want to learn. I just want to teach you the little simple stuff.
Yep.
It's like what I'm teaching you here, the single crochet, and it's used so much.
Mhm.
It's one of the most the foundation chains that you got to learn.
So what's the difference between a single crochet and the other crochets?
Like the double crochet, I can
Yeah.
demonstrate for you right now. Actually, I have a very helpful stitch guide that I got when I first started. Let's see. See, they differentiate front loops, back loops, chains, slip stitch. Here's the single crochet, which is what we did. Here's a half double crochet. And if you want to do a double crochet, instead of pulling it through all 3 loops at the end, you well, I'll show you when we ever get there.
Show the stream a little bit here so they
See,
can...
this is the stitch guide I got when I first started crocheting. It's laminated, so it's going to be a little reflective for you, but it teaches you everything you want to know. I wonder if you could Google it and find it. I don't think it's like privileged information, so I'm sure it can be found. And I think I even have more copies, and I might scan it. I'll post it somewhere if anyone wanted. This is actually, it's go to crochetworld.com. It's on the bottom here. This might have been a magazine that's one of the ladies had saved, and they just photocopied it. It's even got like a little ruler on the end, but I don't really use that part. But it's even got like an entire list of stitching abbreviations that you're going to find on all patterns that you look at online. So I will know what they mean by DEC. Like if you see something just says DEC, or I guess you could just say deck, it means a decrease or a decreasing stitch. It also has other things like PC for a popcorn stitch. I haven't done one of those in a while. That was one of the first ones I learned about.
Juanita says you are gay.
I knew it! She would know. Because I put meat in my mouth? Is that why?
I guess so.
What else is going on in that
So
show?
why would you use one stitch over the other? Like, is it about speed? Is it about shape?
Shape, I want to say. Because, well, how best to explain? I wish I had one of my rainbow monkeys with me, actually, because that'd be great, because it utilizes a lot of half double crochets in the ears. Like, take this. This is full of single crochets. It's just kind of a uniform, flat surface. But if you think about it, when I'm starting in the center, I could start it with half double crochets, and the stitches are automatically bigger and thicker. So for bigger projects, you're probably going to be using those a lot more. I've only invented a few of my own crochet patterns. Like the Rainbow Monkey was all like of course the design is like something I saw from Codename Kim's Next Door. It's like a knockoff of Care Bears. But I came up with my own crochet pattern for the dolls. And it uses a lot of single crochet in the base body and in the legs, and I think in the head, but it also, like every pattern that makes a plushie, you use decreasing stitches because that's how you close it up. Like you use increasing stitches to make it bigger into like a round bowl. Then you use single crochets to like make the foundation of it, the core right here. And then you use decreasing to close it, and so you get a little white potato, and that's a fly. And you kind of do the same thing with the leg. I started with increasing, and I made the little hoof, and we're doing a lot of single crochets to make the leg, but we aren't closing it up because we don't want a potato for the legs. We want a pole, and the pole will be sewn to the pony body. And those are shapes.
Right.
I'm not the best at explaining this. I have a lot of knowledge, but it's hard for me to break it down because I really just honestly haven't had to explain things to people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rare I talk to people about it who don't kind of know. In fact, I don't think I talk about it to anyone because nobody does.
Angel of Speed is trying to say something in Japanese to me.
He's cursing you out. He's calling you out right now.
Probably. I can't recognize those symbols. I feel like they're kanji.
Charles B says, which rarity face do you prefer? The one from Applejack's Day Off or the one from Fame and Misfortune? You know what my favorite rarity face is? It was from Equestria Girls, Rainbow Rocks, where they're like, this is a lot of clothes rarity or something, but she's just like really excited and goes, I know, and it's like this, and just had that as a profile picture on Skype for a while because it was the cutest face.
Yeah, but which of those two faces do you prefer? The I'm assuming he's referring to the saggy face from the steam bath versus darling with the mascara running.
I would probably say
I just know something bad's going to happen.
Yeah, well, that one's from my video, so
I'm fully aware.
that doesn't count.
And if any of you in chat aren't fully aware, fix that.
Battleship Agincourt says, any advice for adopting a new cat? Expert. But you've got to put the cat in a place where that's gonna be its space, you know? Like, especially if you're in a house or an apartment, it's good to slowly introduce them to the area.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we gave Knife the laundry room. That's where her litter box is, her food bowl, her water bowl, her toys, all her stuff is in there. And we even made her a bed recently, but that wasn't there at the time. So, like, have the cat have its area where, like, it has all its stuff. It knows that is its home base and that's all its stuff. And it'll explore everything by itself. Like, don't try and push it to, like, go to new places or go into your bed and stuff like that. You're just going to scare it off. It really depends on the temperament of the cat, but it's just, you know, letting the cat take it as its own pace and leave it alone. Like, let it have its space personally too. Like, you can sit down, maybe wait for it to come to you and just check it out, make sure it doesn't get hurt or get into trouble. That's also another thing. If you have anything fragile that you don't want to be broken, maybe put it somewhere the cat's not going to get it. I know it's hard to gauge that with cats, but, you know, like inside a cabinet or something. Though Knife found a way to get inside cabinets sometimes. It's weird.
Cats will get into whatever they're determined enough to get into. Here's what you do: you go down to the shelter, and you just walk around and look at the cats until you see one that you like and that also likes you, because cats will choose you as much as you choose the cat. If you happen to see more than one cat that meets that criteria, get them. Get as many cats as you can that match that criteria, because those shelters are always freaking overloaded.
Oh, there's my stuffing.
Just be sure that those cats fit each other's criteria first.
Yeah, that too.
They're cats. Like, that's a whole other ballgame. Like, Knife, I'm not too interested in getting another cat while I have Knife. He doesn't like other cats.
I want to adopt all 30 of these cats. Well, 15 of them are McColts and 50 of them are Hooffields, so have fun with that.
You know, you say that, but when I wanted to pick up a stray cat, you said no.
Yeah. Well, the cat wasn't coming up to you.
We were in the car, of course.
The cat did not meet the criteria, Heather.
The cat loved me. It just didn't.
Heather's mad because last night we went out to dinner, and as we were leaving, she saw a stray black cat, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, a black cat! Let's take it home." And I was like, "No."
I was just like, "But Bronny, someone's gonna hurt the cat. It's October. People are mean to the freaking black cats because they're terrible people."
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the other things is that cats aren't going to warm up to you instantaneously.
Yeah, the first time Knife saw me, she hissed right at me and jumped up on the top of the refrigerator.
She got used to it now, and now he's her favorite person because he's so warm.
Juanita says we need to Skype because I miss you.
Miss you too, girl. Be cool to hang out again.
And it seems my chat isn't refreshing. That's fun.
Oh, he's Angel Speed saying that kanji is senpai, the other one is sensei.
Ah. I guess I should have recognized it then because I've seen those symbols in Duolingo, but I don't know, just outside of context, I guess. Haven't seen them in a while.
Battleship Agicord says, my parents have a black cat. Urinates on everything. Is it a guy that isn't spayed and he's marking his territory? Or does it have a UTI? Other than that, it could just be that cat pisses a lot. I mean, like, Brandon's cat Meatball would do that. Or Meatball. I like that boy, but he pissed on everything.
Is it a past tense? I didn't know the cat died.
He didn't die, but they couldn't keep it.
Mm.
It just happened, man. Poor Meatball.
That's unfortunate.
Likes Meatball.
So they adopted the cat, and then how long did they keep it?
For years. But like it just came to a head. Like, especially like since well, this is Brandon's business. We shouldn't be talking about him, but
and he's listening.
Yeah, he's listening. So like if he wants to explain what happened with Meatball, then that's up to him.
Let's see here. Oh, you've got a heck of a knot, like right here.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
I'm just kind of following it backwards as best as I can.
Juanita says, Heather, remember the hometown buffet incident? I told you that.
Yeah, that was the one where y'all had to rush to the bathroom, right?
You make it sound so unfunny. Freaking, okay, chat. I've told you this story before. Let me paint the picture. My mom scheduled a dentist appointment for me that day. I think this was like late high school or something. And so I had to go to the dentist, but because like the dentist appointment was early in the morning, my mom didn't let me eat any breakfast and wanted my teeth all nice and clean for the dentist. And I'm like, but the dentist appointment took forever, and they had to put in a cavity thing or whatever. So like my face was numb, so she wouldn't let me eat anything at all that day until in the afternoon. I went to Juanita's house, and we were just get some lunch or something, and her mom gave us a coupon for hometown buffet. And I just go to Juanita, and I turn to her and I go, Juanita, let's go eat until we throw up. And we do. We go. I'm talking roast beef, fried chicken, dessert, lunch, breakfast. Everything I can fit into my body is going in. And we seem okay. We're pretty full, but whatever. We walk out of the hometown buffet. We're just going to go walk around the Target that was nearby. So we're walking to the parking lot. And as we're like less than halfway there, it hits us in the gut. And I'm like, we gotta shit right now. So we run the rest of the way to the Target. 2 teenage girls and her younger brother, I think, was there. We go into 2 stalls in the Target and just destroy the place. So in a way, we did eat, so we threw up from the other end.
You're down.
We threw down.
not in the sexy fighting kind of way.
You know, right?
Okay, so the next time we play Cards Against Humanity, I'll have to use the hometown buffet incident as a writing card.
I like that would be a thing, the hometown buffet incident. God. Just like good times. Oh yeah, I'll miss hometown
That was
buffet.
fun last night.
We got that here though, but we call it Golden Corral.
Oh yeah. Doesn't feel the same. Oh, they do.
You know, I would love to go to Golden Corral if it weren't for the horror stories I've heard from it.
It's
buffets can be gross, but I don't know.
because you get one or two things. You either get really bad food, or you go when the food is fresh, which is going to be during one of the the dinner rush. But that's then you got to deal with people.
I know. The last time I went to Golden Corral, it was back in Tucson before I moved.
There you go, babe.
Oh, thank you, honey. I went with my mom and my Aunt Della. I went to go get rolls, and I just saw a lady stacking nothing but rolls onto a plate. Like, they had just set out some fresh rolls, and she took half the tray, and I'm like, The rest of us want some rolls. You act like you're never gonna eat again.
She needs the bread roll to add to her jelly roll.
Gluten free? I thought you said free gluten.
Oh my god. But yeah, this freaking kind of shit.
Yep.
Shit.
Heather, what did you think about the Fame and Misfortune song, the We're Not Flawless, and then it had absolutely zero effect on the outcome, or on the situation? Charles B. wants to
It was
know.
funny enough in the moment, but the song left no impression on me. I guess I would have been the people in the crowd just going back. Like, I would just been like, they sang a song, like, okay, back to what I was doing, because I didn't give a shit about that song. Wasn't catchy enough.
I thought it was a really good song, and it gets stuck in my head all the time.
Yes, the one part, we're not flawless, we're works in progress. That's it.
Yep. We got dancing.
I have to see Firebrand hit it on the head. Who was the song for? We didn't expect them to be flawless. They had nothing to do with the situation.
I wasn't interested in the song. I was in for it for the drama. I was there to drink the tea, sprinkle my own boba in.
A Battleship Agincourt once it keeps asking if you're a turtle.
Are you?
Is there some kind of inside joke I'm missing here?
I think it's his own joke.
Yeah, you're weird.
I feel like it might be set up for a Ligma joke, but I'm not sure how that would.
Ligma.
Juanita says, we gotta go, love you, UI Brawny.
Oh man, I gotta tell people this one part of like that call the other day. Of course, because at my job I work for a popular cafe franchise at a corporate office. So I have to answer the phone sometimes. And I get Karens and Kens because it's customer complaints sometimes. But this one time, like a guy's complaining to me on the phone, and I was just like, at this point, I'm just kind of like tuning him out because it comes down to the same thing. It's always like the server had a bad attitude. The server had a bad attitude. The server had a bad attitude. You know why they have a bad attitude? Because you suck. That's why they have a bad attitude.
You're projecting, sir.
You're projecting, and sorry they don't have like sunshines and rainbows falling out of their ass every time they see you. Freaking but yeah, like as they're talking to me, I'm texting Brian as it's happening. I'm like, Brian, oh my god, this freaking just called up. He just like, I don't like to complain, but and then he still calls.
Yeah, you always know you're in for a treat when the conversation starts with, I don't like to complain, but I'm not looking for anything, but I don't mean to play the race card, but it's, you know.
Oh, it's always that every time. But yeah, like I was like, Ronnie, this Ken. And then like the guy, I'm like, would you like to play with name and number? And he goes like, yes, my name is Ken. And I'm like, Ronnie, his name was actually Ken. I was making that shit up. And as I hang up with the guy, I check my phone. Ronnie texts back, you should ask him, can you lick these nuts? Just like, I'm glad you sent that text after I hung up. I probably would have laughed.
He deserves to hear it. That's what he gets.
Oh, totally. He should hear it. But
That
like,
Ken one is good. I'll have to use it the next time I see a Ken at SockCon.
can you lick my nuts?
You're not going to get me with that, Spencer. You're not clever enough.
And your name's not Ken.
No, he said he's going to ask that the next time he sees a Ken at SawCon. Yeah, I'm glad you got it too, Heather.
I love those jokes. I like a pun when it's very inappropriate.
Charles wants to know if I could see you working at a maid cafe, and I'd rather not because
The outfits.
yeah, you can like the outfits, and you're more than welcome to like work at the cafe. But I'm just telling you, I would likely end up killing a dude because if
He
someone
probably deserve it. He'd probably follow me home. And then he
right, it would only take one dude hitting on you for me to just kill him.
He's so jealous.
No, actually, what needs to happen, maid cafe, but it's themed as a generic anime cafe. So you have all the girls in the maid outfits, but you also have guys on staff, and they just have katanas strapped on them at all times.
So like, hey, you fucking with one of the chicks, this prop sword can still hurt if I whack you across the face with it.
They'll have we'll get like delinquents, and we'll make sure they have like pompadours and carry around Balkans.
I love that old fucking
They'll walk around going like, you know,
that's the weirdest thing.
that's what they do in all the animes.
I'm pretty sure the people who made the anime got bullied by those guys and they just want to make them look even dumber.
Yeah. Oh god.
You know, just do an entire delinquent cafe, because you can do the delinquent chicks that wear the face masks and wear the long skirts
Mm-hmm.
and the face
And
paints.
get fake tans.
Oh yeah, it's Garu. That's not like, that wasn't delinquent. They have that whole Garu thing.
Mm. Has there ever been an MLP cafe? There are at some if you go to some of the conventions. It'll be an extra ticket. Those things are like $50. It's not worth it.
Unless I'm working there. They gotta ask me. I don't know what character I'm gonna be, but like I'd probably be the best at it.
Well, we already know you can do a pretty good Pinkie Pie.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's like, actually, I'd make a great Pinkie Pie. I'm great at being
They
Pinkie
usually
Pie.
get those girls from Serendipity Cosplay and or Step 2 Harmony.
My wig is cuter, though.
Something up with some of those girls. I remember being at Everfree Northwest and I was hanging out with Silver Quill. And we stopped for a second because he saw, one of those girls in like a Celestia costume heading to the rave, and he's like, "Oh, I like your costume. Can I take a picture?" And she goes, "Oh, I'd do anything for you, Silver Quill." And I'm like, and he's like, "Oh, and you recognize me?" And he just kind of played it off. But I was like, "Gosh darn, dude."
God
Run,
dang!
princess.
She wants the D!
Yeah. She like did the whole bend over thing too.
Looking straight down the shirt. Man, Silver Quill, if you ain't using that, I guess I'll look.
Look, if it were the
That's
Luna
like-
cosplayer, he definitely would have paid more attention.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Do you ever have a song stuck in your head, but it's not like the song, it's just like the track of the song, and you can kind of remember what their voice sounds like, but you don't know what the fuck they were singing? Do, 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 do. It's messing with my brain.
Where's it from?
I just saw it on TikTok the other day. I don't know.
Oh, well, there's your problem. Get off TikTok.
No, I like all the little puppies and stuff.
Yeah, but
Yay!
you can get all that elsewhere without acknowledging the existence of TikTok.
I like the resin art and the bakeries and the kittens. There's a lady who makes anime wigs for her Sphinx cat.
Okay, here's what's up, Heather. I will make you a platform, okay? I will
Just-
make... I mean, other people will get on it, but I'm gonna actually run it well, and it won't be frickin' TikTok with all the censorship and all the promotions and all the ads.
You're
and-
right. Straight up tits. Full nipple. No censorship.
Yeah, well, I kind of dug my own grave on this one.
Full frontal. D and P next to each other.
Okay.
Not going into each other. This isn't porn. It's artistic.
Calm down there, deviant art.
Don't freaking you judge me.
I'm judging you so hard right now.
Look, you said no censorship. I want nipples.
Okay, but here's the thing, though, is we tried to watch a TikTok the other day, and it was some, some little girl who had painted her face all white and was wearing these blackout contacts and
Hey,
yeah, she looked like a freaking mime on cocaine, but she's like, okay, if you're here to ask questions about, and I can't say it because the Watch app will ban me, right? So she can't even say the name of the app. She can't even, and then this is what she does, right? She just holds up two pans in each hand, and then like proceeds to do the rest of the video. And obviously, she's talking about OnlyFans banning adult content. That whole drama that went down a few weeks ago. So she's obviously talking about that, but she goes through like a minute and a half without actually saying anything because she's got to tiptoe over all the censors, and it just drives me nuts. Because if you're gonna censor it, all you're doing is annoying the people that know what you're talking about. You know, like I've seen people like put asterisks over like certain letters of a word to try to censor it, and they're like, oh, and I'm watching out for people's triggers. Well, if they know what you're talking about, that censorship isn't gonna stop anything, right? They're still gonna know what you're
Unless they're
talking about.
profoundly that stupid enough that it works.
In that case, just freaking remove them from the gene pool. Maybe the eugenicists had a point, and but they're still going to get triggered when they figure out what you're talking about, and you're just annoying the heck out of everybody else. You either can't get your message across, or you annoy the people that actually know what you're talking about. And then the app's going to figure out what it is anyway and just ban that too. And the speech just gets more and more and more restricted. So you do two things in this situation. You either don't partake of the platform that censors you, because censorship of any kind is freaking pointless anyway. And the only point of it is to just try to control what you can and can't say, which is a human right, by the way. Or you just ignore the rules of the platform. You just say it anyway because they're not going to kick off their entire platform. You just don't partake of the censorship. Like YouTube doesn't let you talk about certain things now too. You're not allowed to use the word vax or vaccine anymore, right? I was going off today in my server like, yo, I'm dead serious. We need to start figuring out a way to start bringing some class action lawsuits on these platforms because this cannot fly. It's just getting worse. It's by the week, Heather. Like the speed of which the situation is accelerating is beyond anything I could have predicted. Yeah, she's trying to comfort me. She also just wants me to stop talking about it. I will not be censored.
Was using that.
You forgot I had that, didn't you? Don't be weird on stream.
Do it. Be sincere. Nothing you can do.
This is why I hang out with her. She's clever. I gotta be very careful about everything I do because it's
Ronnie, it's my rights.
Everything's a Faustian bargain with this chick.
It's like, oh, you want lack of censorship? Also, you lack of censorship.
Battleship Agincourt wants to know if you condemn the January 6th insurrection. It wasn't an insurrection, you goof nugget.
It was I was gonna say
real talk.
Raid.
What happened on January 6th?
That was when the
riot.
That was when the protesters went over to demand a recount, and it ended with people storming into Congress and just taking a bunch of pictures.
Taking pictures, everything went wrong. They didn't accomplish what they set out to do. So essentially, I think it was stupid.
It was really stupid. They went in there and took it too far with no plan.
So we had a couple people who attacked cops or were attacked by cops.
Yes.
Those have been taken care of.
Yeah.
We had someone steal Pelosi's laptop. That was taken care of. Unless you're going to fine all the other people in there who just walked through the front door.
Oh, they're trying
or
to.
Who knows what. What are you hoping to accomplish?
Yeah.
Scare the public. Don't do it again. The dictators are in charge, and how dare you have an opinion? Here's the thing. It wasn't an insurrection. We're Americans. We have the right to overthrow the government if we believe they're being tyrannical.
No more.
All right. Yeah, I'll stop there. But that's I'm just throw that little factoid out for you, Agincourt. He wants to know if you can reform me. No. This is me.
It's the best you're gonna get. I think the question is he going to reform me?
We'll see which one breaks first.
I won't start at the head.
I was already there.
Are you?
Why are you so predictable?
Be grossed out.
You should probably stop trying to do that on freaking stream. Why don't you crochet?
What?
Are you gonna focus? Are you gonna do your? Okay, how about I just do this then? I keep bending it backwards if it hurt really bad.
It felt better.
Right.
I need to stretch. That's the problem. It's like, oh,
Hey, it's enough.
feel a little
It's
better.
enough spousal abuse on live TV.
Yeah. See, that's the Kraken. That's why it felt better. Actually,
Release the Kraken.
gotta bend it. Not too much. Not too much. Try the other one. Not too much. Little more.
Got a lot of flexibility in this.
There we go.
Good.
That's what happens when you do this a lot. You have to. Especially when you're trying to take care of your wrists. Because I could totally fuck them up by going too far.
Mm-hmm.
Like doing it all the time, every day.
You've already done a couple of streams with a wrist brace on.
Yeah, that's taking it a little far. I haven't had to use it in a while, so I think I'm taking good care of it.
Do we think people could storm in and take out Celestia and Luna? Remember when that convention went wrong and an angry mob showed up at Twilight's hotel room while she was sleeping?
Gosh,
That we're already closer to a George R. R. Martin book. Half their heads would be mounted on the southern wall.
Yeah, I know, right?
That observation stolen from Silverwell.
It happens, though. Like I made this point on my debate last week. I was like, hey, you remember ancient Egypt when the people literally thought that the pharaoh was God and had created the earth and would just, reincarnate in a different body and become pharaoh again and controlled the sun and the celestial bodies. If they didn't like that guy and what he was doing, they would still go and get an angry mob and go kill him. So, if they get enough people angry, they will literally fight God. So it's don't underestimate human nature.
do you remember that fan comic with Celestia and Luna where, like, people are storming in the street? And Celestia's like, what does this angry mob want? And Luna just goes, democracy. And she goes like, oh, democracy. Yeah, sure, we'll go with democracy. Let my little ponies have what they want. And the next thing you just see them both at a guillotine and Derpy's the executioner.
Oh,
And it's
jeez.
just like, ah, man.
Well, we know they got out of that situation with Derpy as the executioner. She's just like, you just don't know what went wrong.
Why did we give her this job?
Probably just to scare the pants off the royals.
Here's my drink. Hey, where's your drink?
I finished it and I threw it out.
Oh, you put your cat back on.
I saw a cute comic once where Celestia had died and Luna was celebrating, and Twilight was getting up all in her case, like, why are you celebrating the death of your sister? And she's just like, I have waited this for eons. Then in a flash of light, baby Celestia's there, and Luna just says, now we are the big sister!
Yeah, like implying Celestia's a phoenix.
Oh.
Imagine if that happened at the guillotine.
That'd be hilarious.
Like, what do you do then? That's gotta be awkward. Like, you just killed your enemy, they turned back into a baby, and you're just like, do I kill the baby? Do I raise it better? What do I do with this baby?
I think we established this. If chopping their head off turns them into a baby, then I don't think killing them again would yield different results.
Yeah, it's like,
Yep.
do
I
I
feel like if you had a
Anyway.
stopwatch and reset the timer to 0, even if there's only 43 milliseconds on it, resetting is still just going to set it back to 0.
Battleship Edging course. Could Heather please talk some sense into that gland with legs? That's a new one. On your right, it's kind of talking treason. My friend, go read the Magna Carta, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and come back. All right.
Guys, the topic. You're gonna get fired up. I'm gonna either get bored or kind of upset. One of those things is happening, and then I don't know what I'll do then.
I just won't acknowledge Edging Court any.
You're too steamed. You're like a piece of broccoli.
I'm healthy and full of fiber.
I'm gonna put some cheese on you. It makes you a little more unhealthy, but it makes it more palatable, you know?
What kind of cheese?
American cheddar.
Whatever slices there are in the kitchen, she's just gonna throw it at your forehead and watch you react like a cat.
Freaking knife would hate that if I just started throwing cheese at her.
I saw this comic earlier today. It was Pokemon. It was like a Pokemon Snap fan comic, and it was the professor, and he was like, "Okay, you did really well throwing the apples to the Pokemon. I think you're ready for the next thing. Take this and go get some really good pictures." And then it's a dude lining up a shot of an Eevee, right? And all of a sudden and then the next frame is just this cheese slapping it in the face.
It's like, yeah, that's art.
And the professor gives that picture 5 stars.
Wonderful.
We got 2 legs working on the 3rd.
Mm.
Yes.
Spencer, do me a favor. Check the context on what Agincourt just said, and we'll deal with it after stream. Well, later. Just like make a note of it. I want to look that up because I'm pretty sure it's wrong. All right, what do we got going on here, Heather?
My thumb.
You got a little thimble there.
It makes me think I could really make a pair of gloves. I just reuse the leg design on all the fingers. Maybe make it a little thicker on the thumb. Then you just gotta like make a freaking thing for the palm.
Yeah.
It seems to be what it's like. I don't know. I barely got a grasp on mittens.
Mm. Are you gonna do more crochet stuff for Christmas, Heather?
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna try to do as much as I can.
Do you think you'll get it done?
I think so. I'm gonna do little things. I've actually got a book of like little Marvel projects. I plan to do 2 things for your nephews from there. I got a little book of tiny animal things, 2 things for your nieces there. I already made something for your Nona and your mom. I need to think of your sister, your brother, and your dad. And I think that's it.
Mm.
So, oh, and your sisters.
Yeah.
You know what their scarves colors were, Bronny?
I'll ask them to take pictures of their scarves.
Like, even if you just want to start, like, Heather wants to make you something that matches what she gave you last year,
Mhm.
or the last time she was there.
Yeah. And this time we'll actually get some time to hang out with them instead of just like one measly day.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get to hang out at New Year's. That's usually fun. It's been winding down the last few years though. Everybody's getting old.
Yeah, that happens. Here, wrap that up nice so it doesn't get tangled again.
I will do my best.
Yeah, I actually have a whole bag of it.
Oh, I'm gonna totally lock my fingers in there like that. Hang on. You better find to wrap up my fingers and find out I can't get them out. That'd have been hilarious.
Good stuff.
See if I can figure this out.
Floridian finger trap.
A Floridian finger trap is trying to stick your fingers in a gator's ears.
That would be funny.
Oh, I want to show chat my nail polish this week. They're skulls. Oh, man, they're too white. They're getting blown out. But I drew them myself. They put little ghost faces on the fingers.
All right, there's your yellow yarn.
Thank you, hon. Ghost yarn.
I'll be right back. Oh, hang on, my hips are locking up again.
Alright, you help?
Got it.
He's cool. One time I like popped your hips, like hugging you like intensely.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "You're welcome, I guess."
Hold my head down to your shoulder and popped my neck like 3 or 4 times.
Was it again like a situation where like, I don't know, did I help?
No, we were just talking to each other, and you were like, "Here, give me a hug." And as you pulled me down, it was all sappy, and we were in a good mood. And then you pulled me down, and my neck popped, and it just ruined everything.
I was like, it's weird when your man cracks whenever you touch him funny. Angel's Beat said Heather's fingernails. A skull. Yes. Accurate. Aaron Davis says, I also prefer not to even think about politics, and I don't care what happens. Same, bro. Same. Try to stay out of the shit, but, it gets brought to your front door at a consistent basis. Do you also paint your toenails to match your fingernails from time to time? I don't do my toenails every week. I do my fingernails every week because they receive the most damage throughout the week, so they'll be all chipped and the paint will be all off by the end of the week. But my toenails typically stay good for about 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks I do my toenails, and I usually have them match however I do my fingernails that week. But my fingernails change every week. So sometimes I think my toes are still black from last week. And this week, I just painted these today. They're white, and I have skull thumbs and ghost faces on my FU fingers. Crosby says, where's Miss Knight, Heather? Beginning. She was just chilling. Already gave her food and insulin for the night, so she's probably going to turn in.
I'd like to cycle back to what Aaron said about not caring about politics. That's part of the reason the country is where it is now, and I'm not going to preach on this too hard, but regardless of which side you do or don't agree with, you owe it to yourself, your friends, and your family to just research the candidates even a little bit before you go vote in the ballot box.
I understand that, at least. I can agree with that. I think glasses got fucked up. So. Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Yep.
I don't like bringing it up in conversation a lot, I think is what I mean. I keep it close to chest because it can be so divisive, and I don't like being split off from different people,
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't be the case to begin with, having a different opinion or anything about whatever, but it does regardless.
Unfortunately, a lot of people tie their political beliefs very closely to their sense of self, and as such, they are not willing to be wrong and get extremely defensive when they are.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
Now, I will say, I do have one political opinion that I legitimately cannot think of a good reason to object to. So I'm going to say what it is, because I want to see if chat has anything. I believe that we need to switch to school choice.
What do you mean?
All right. So, are you familiar with how school choice works?
First I'm hearing of it. I might know what it is, but I haven't heard by this name.
All right. The abridged version is that the way it's decided where kids go to school now is based on where they live.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I'll use my town, the town I went to elementary school as an example. We had 3 elementary schools, and depending on which part of the town you were in, that was the elementary school you went to. You didn't have much of a choice in that matter, unless your parents sent you to a private school or whatever. Under a school choice system, the funding for the school that comes from your taxes is not attached to the house, but rather is attached to the kid. So whichever school the kid goes to will get the allotted amount of tax funding. So it makes it that way parents can just choose which school to send their kid to, and that's what school their taxes will go to as well, not locking them into one option. Or if they go the private school route, they don't have to pay for the private school while the taxes are paying for a school that their kid doesn't even go to. It just goes to the private school.
I don't see how that would solve most of the problems we have with public education. Can you help me out on that?
Well, one of the ultimate ones is it will force schools to compete and innovate like a business would, because now they're not just getting funded based on how many kids live in the neighborhood. They're getting funded on which kids are actually being sent to their school. So now they need to give parents a reason to send kids to their school. So you know how there's always that one teacher in the school. They've been in history. Their classroom is number one because it's been there since the beginning of the Mesozoic era.
Mhm.
And even though you have like 20 new teachers coming in at the beginning of the school year, you're lucky if you keep 19 because union rules say that the dinosaur gets to stay because he's been there for 3 decades and has like seniority or whatever.
And he's a bad teacher at that.
Yes, that's the part I left out. He fails half the class just because he doesn't like the color of their jackets.
Mhm.
Well, if the schools now have to actually find a way to get kids to come, and you have a teacher that nobody likes, you're not going to want to keep that teacher around because you want kids to like their teachers so that they come to the school.
Sounds good in theory.
Gotta have to see how it practices out, because there's always something in execution that goes wrong. And also, it could work like you're being competitive, but at the same time, parents might send their kid to a school that they think is good, but actually isn't supplying the kid with what they need. Like, they might send their kid to this school just because the kid likes it, but it's just because all the classes are easier to pass because the teachers aren't really challenging the students, and they're like giving them like really like tasty food in the cafeteria, but it doesn't have a lot of nutritional value.
And there's still going to be there's still going to be state standardization for what the teachers can teach and the curriculum that's there and the way that they teach it and how they're allowed to discipline and all that. It's all set across the board. So you've got to fix all those other way bigger problems before you can do that. And quite honestly, the Department of Education is so busted, there's no fixing it. You just got to scrap the whole thing and go to a completely private setting. Now,
Yep, well, actually, go ahead.
when that happens, you're going to get the same problems that you're getting now with the college system, which is almost completely private. So we got to figure out how to regulate against that kind of inflation. And usually, the way to do that is to not have any kind of government subsidies, because anytime the government subsidizes an industry, the prices get way up because now they're getting money from the government and they know they're going to get that, so they just they just write the government a blank, or the government has basically just handed them a blank check, and then they're going to charge you the private citizen, the individual, exorbitant fees because they know they're going to get that money anyway because you're going to take out a loan usually from the government. So they're double dipping. They're getting the money from the government anyway through grants and subsidies, and then they get the money through the government insurance, and then they get a copay, which is usually thousands and thousands of dollars on top of that. It's happened already in education. It's happened already in automobiles and a bunch of manufacturing. It's happened for many different types of fuel, and it's happened for. Did I already say education or did I already say insurance? Whichever one I haven't already said yet.
Yep. So I do see the point of many of those, but that's one of the key things about having the school choice system. So, as you said, completely abolishing the public option would just make the private option as bloated as the college system.
Yeah, so you
But
got
with school choice, you're not eliminating the public option. You're just making the private option more accessible. And therefore, now instead of the public option being the default with the private option only being available to those who could afford it, you're now putting the public and private in direct conflict. And since the private doesn't have the same rules to follow as the public, or not to the same degree, if they have, like, say, a much more reasonable penalty system for things like infractions, skipping class, vandalism, or like maybe if they just don't have a what's the word? Oh shoot, it's whatever the name of the anti-bullying policy is.
Zero tolerance.
That's the one. Thank you. Yeah, if they don't have zero tolerance and they instead have measured responses, well, yeah, a lot more parents are going to send their kids there because if their kid is the victim of bullying, the victim isn't going to get suspended.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that the public schools are going to have to figure out how to kick zero tolerance to the curb because, hey, we're losing students because this system is dumb.
Yeah, a lot of parents, though, in my experience with teaching, a lot of parents don't really understand what zero tolerance is or how it works. So a lot of them end up being in favor of it because it ends up benefiting their horrible kid.
Yeah,
I've run into that so many times. I ran into that so much when I was a teacher. It was absolutely despicable. You know, and I ran into it a lot when I was a student as well. I pretty much put the school in a position where they just couldn't enforce it anymore because I was getting in fights so much when I was in high school that they just couldn't even bother to enforce it anymore. Oh, Brawny got in another fight. Is it Tuesday already?
but yeah, like zero tolerance. I listen to zero tolerance stories on Reddit like every other day. It's dumb. Like you're basically telling the kids you might as well kill the other guy in self-defense because the school's going to punish you the same either way.
Yeah.
And at least the legal system's going to go easy on you because you're a kid.
I remember when I was in high school, I think I was a junior. It was either a junior or a senior. And it was a perfectly normal day until some other kid who I don't know grabbed another kid who I was acquainted with and threw him on a table in the cafeteria and started punching him repeatedly in the back of the head. 5 teachers stood there and did nothing. I didn't want this kid to die, so I intervened. And I, grabbed this kid and I restrained him myself until the resource officer got there. Right? Oh, Brawny got in another fight, just let him go. Because if we do anything, his father's going to be on our case. And that's, which is a whole other story. So so I go up to the kid that was getting hit later on, and I say, I know you're perfectly capable of defending yourself. Why didn't you defend yourself? He goes, because of zero tolerance, I'm going to get arrested too. And I don't want any kind of arrest on my record or anything like that. A kid put his life at risk because of a zero tolerance policy. And that's why like when I got in my first few fights when I was in late middle school, my father, they called up my father and said, "Hey, your son got in a fight. He's going to get suspended." My father was like, "Well, what'd the kid do?" Well, and the second this idiot vice principal of mine said, "Well, he defended himself," my father went, "Listen, if my kid has any punishment against him, I'm going to come down there and I'm going to have your job. I'm going to have the principal's job. He just went down the list. And eventually there was another point in time where I had a real bad fight. And it was clear self-defense, and they called him up like, "Oh, your kid could get arrested." My father went, "How many lawsuits do you guys want?"
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, forget about it.
Yep. Or like in any of the cases where you're defending someone else, father just goes, "How about you look up Good Samaritan laws?"
Yeah.
And tell me how you're going to penalize my son again.
And that's another weird thing, is that a lot of the laws don't apply to schools, and they're specifically written to not apply to schools, which doesn't make any sense either, and that needs to change as well.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking about, Heather?
School.
So
It's very
I was going to
clear
ask
that-
you what you
Go
thought
ahead.
about that particular message, Heather.
No.
You don't want to address that one? All right.
I respect your opinion. I don't agree with everything, but I
Mhm.
respect your right to have it.
Yep.
And you mostly stay respectful and stop when I clearly want you to stop.
Mhm.
So I And I expect the rest of you to show him the same kind of respect. If he makes you uncomfortable with what he says, all you have to do is say so. You can drop the topic.
Well, I play with my fidget spinner.
You want me to get my fidget spinner ring?
Don't.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Didn't that thing
I have.
fall
Or
apart?
I put my keyboard.
I remember that thing falling apart.
It might have. I don't remember. When's the last time I wore that?
I don't know. William Ghana says, hi, Heather and Brawny. Hey, how's it going? Say hi to Spencer, too. He's here.
Hello.
This is a hard ballad song to flip around because
I've been trying since you left it in here. I've been like, and I can't figure it out.
I should leave the FU-42 in here because that's
I like what it's called.
yeah, and I'll tell you the story behind that later. But yeah, that one's like half the weight of this. This one is thick, solid brass. So, and it's got a very thick blade on it too. So it's very heavy, so it's a little more difficult to flip around. I also got to fix the latch. The latch on that doesn't work.
I'm sorry, did I just see in the stream that you rid your thumb along the blade?
This doesn't have a blade. It's a bottle opener. Show him.
Okay.
That'll eventually get to him. But it's like a shark head, and it has the mouth open. It's a bottle opener, so it's okay.
It's a bottle opener and a ruler. I don't know what the heck you would use the ruler for. It's literally 3 inches. I wouldn't.
It's to make sure. It's like, hey, is this thing I have 3 inches? Yes or no?
I wouldn't be surprised if this was even an I actually no. Let me rephrase. I would be very surprised if this was an accurate 3 inches.
Well, there's only one way to check. Let me get my ruler. You know what? Let's use this paper because it has a ruler on it.
You know something? Let's show the stream here. Let's see if I can get your camera to focus in.
I don't think it's going to focus that much on the details, especially since there's a glare.
Well, I see the lines on OBS there. And then here's the ruler on this side.
Got another ruler.
And I don't think that, they're not even, you saw they're not even lined up or labeled those lines on the blade. So
it's not right.
It's just a matter of why did you bother putting it there in the first place? I accidentally hooked your guy. I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. I was aiming for
Can you get it?
It got to the deck and then it slid, and I couldn't have predicted the slide.
You failed.
I did fail. There's no excuse for that. But yeah. So the FU-42, the other one I have. The most popular brand of ballad songs for a long time was Benchmade, right? And they tried to patent the word ballad song, something that's been around for hundreds of years. Among other things, they tried to patent their design so nobody else could make a ballad song like theirs. They tried to patent a million different things, right? But there was a guy, I believe out in Oregon, who made his own ballad songs. He's got his website where he talks about this extensively, and he's a real crass guy. Just so you anybody who goes and researches this for themselves can know, he cusses all over his own website. It's called United Cutlery. Ballad song, butterflyknives.com. No, Exiled Cutlery. That's what it's called. Exiled. So he was making his own ballad songs, and Benchmade tried to sue him, and he won, and showed that. And what that showed is you can't patent this design of knife that's been around for hundreds of years, made by many different cultures. So that's when he started making his own knockoff brands of ballad songs called Exiled Cutlery, and the FU series is literally an FU to Benchmade. What did Benchmade call theirs? It was like the The acronym also started with U, but it's a very similar type of ballad song. And it was the Model 42. Yes, we got 3 legs done. It's a Model 42. So yeah, that's the FU-42 is basically just a knockoff Benchmade ballad song.
Yeah.
But the difference there is that the FU series, well, you can get them in titanium. It nodded.
No.
I don't know how to prevent that. You can get them in titanium, but they're a bit more expensive. On Benchmade, they came in titanium by default. But yeah, I got mine in stainless steel because I can actually afford stainless steel. Titanium, especially once the wars in the Middle East started, titanium shot up in price, and something that was like $50 became $150. There's a little ballad song lore for you that nobody asked for.
Tell me the lore of machetes.
Big knife.
Oh.
Big knife, thin, good for cutting branches. Sometimes good for cutting people.
People are just branches made out of a meaty wood.
People are just meat trees.
Machete was the weapon of choice by Brazilian slaves in rebellion. Yep. Also, ambush by night was another preferred tactic. They'd get you while you were sleeping.
That's the best way to do anything.
And that's how capoeira was born.
Capoeira.
Yeah. So they practiced. Now, a lot of the Brazilian slaves came from Angola in Africa, where they did have a form of tribal dance, right? I don't know anything about the Angola dance. I just know the vague history of capoeira. Then they got over into Brazil, where they weren't allowed to have weapons and they weren't allowed to practice martial arts. So they couldn't have a sword, they couldn't have a gun, they couldn't practice any martial arts, but they needed to have a machete in order to do their job as slaves. So there you go. And then they practiced the Angola dance, or the whatever their tribal dance was, but they worked sort of like kicks and gymnastics and some like tripping techniques into it and things like that. But basically, they fooled the slave owners into thinking they were just dancing, but they were really practicing martial arts.
I have a funny visual of it.
And then they would, and then when the time came to rebel, they would go and they'd take their machetes and they'd go and get the slave owners while they were sleeping.
I have a funny visual of it. Like the guy's just dancing, and the slaver's like, just fine. And moves away, and he's just like practicing punches and kicks. And the slaver's like, wait a minute, and looks back, and he's just like freaking twerking.
It's like that. It's like that meme that's been going around with the. Oh God, I don't even know how to describe this meme.
Is it the cow from Back of the Barnyard?
That's one of them.
Oh, it's like that. Like,
yeah.
He's just like, instead of just standing there like a cow, he's just like, whatever, dancing. Guy looks away. He's freaking doing martial arts. He looks back, just dancing. What is this?
See if I can find this meme.
Ah, I see you have defeated my cow.
I love that movie.
Let's see here. You're wrong for liking that movie.
It's a good movie.
As soon as Battleship Agincourt got out of timeout, he asked, "What's your favorite ninja weapon?"
Ninja weapon. That's hard. Like, you gotta think, is it ninja weapon because I think it's cool and efficient, or is it one that I think I could actually use? Which is none of them.
I mean, smoke bombs seem like a pretty easy one to use.
Yeah, I'd find a way to fuck it up. Probably throw it too early. Be like, ah, shit, make me cough. It's shit.
Ninja use face mask filled with smoke for breathing in.
Freaking Angel of Speed said, Otis for Nick All-Stars Brawl. It has my votes. I did watch a lot of Barnyard when I was younger.
Oh yeah, so here's the meme.
Oh my god, that is what it is.
Yeah. I'll show you and then I'll show the stream.
It's the same thing.
Alright, so
yes.
stream chat, please forgive me, but
Lower your brightness. That'll help.
it is lowered.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, this one.
I it was something if I was smarter I would have invented. More interested in the show now.
I already read that comic and it's a little unhinged. So
should be interesting. We got 50 stars though.
I like that meme better than the recent one with the Starbucks where the guy goes in and orders breast milk. I mean breast milk. I mean breast milk. I mean breast milk.
Oh yeah,
I mean
that's
breast
the
milk.
one that's been going around this week.
I'm like, fam, am I lactating right now?
I think I scared Equestria guy. I think I scared everybody. I scared myself, okay? The fact that I even know about this is what sucks about being a meme lord, is that you know all the good memes, but you also know all the trash.
That was pure gold and you know it.
You know, geez, he goes over, alright, if we're talking memes, how about memes from Squid Games? You know something, I've been seeing memes from Squid Games, but none of them make any sense to me because I haven't watched the show.
I haven't watched it either. I feel like it's going to make me sad, and I hate being sad. That's why I haven't gotten into a lot of animes and stuff, because I know it's going to make me hurt. Like the Ancient Magus Bride, I know that's going to hurt me, and I'm not prepared for that emotional commitment.
I'll just have to go ahead of you and tell you how bad it is.
Like, tell you, like, do you think I can emotionally withstand this? And you'll be like, no! This was pretty bad. I'm still fucked up.
Heather, well, I almost said she saved me, but, you know, it wasn't anything I was going to go diving into anyway, but we were talking about Monster Matsune earlier today, and she's just like, yeah, I know you're going to hate that show, and I'm like, yeah, I know I would hate that show.
Oh, yeah, but I was showing him the openings for the first season. Just that opening, I think it's really cute.
Mm-hmm. William Goddess wants to know, did you try Neverwinter on PC yet?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
So that's a no then.
No.
We have not tried Neverwinter on PC.
Get on his Patreon and you can make him pay. And you can ask me to be there. People have done that. Mostly Emerald.
Yeah, mostly Emerald.
Mostly Emerald. He's the one that makes the requests that involve me.
We had an alright time last night on Cards Against Humanity.
Oh yeah. Wasn't it nearly?
What was that little gremlin laugh, you freak?
Who won that game?
Oh yeah, punk. Jerk.
Ronnie and I tied at 6 points. He's the card czar. He's trying desperately not to pick my card. But I had the best one.
Picked his card, gave him the winning point. I wanted to freaking kill myself.
Did better in that game than I thought I was going to. Like, you guys said, Heather, you're tied for second. I'm like, already?
Yeah, but then you stayed there. You didn't get any more points after that.
Could have been worse. I didn't have a gauge on everyone's sense of humor in that one, so I was mostly just thinking, is there a dick joke in
it?
It
was a lot. That game was a lot more tame than past games I've had.
Past games involved completely degenerate Brody cards that are no longer available.
Yeah, that certainly...
That put a damper on things.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
Angel of Speed says Spencer in Steve Urkel's voice after he wins. Did I knew that?
I don't think I'd say, did I do that? I just gloat.
I remember when I was working with the Grand Brony Gal, and they would have weekly Cards Against Humanity streams to promote the convention. I would get on those. And people would try. I won like 4 games in a row. Like I just won every game for a month straight. And they were so mad. They were trying so desperately not to pick my cards, but I would always have the best cards.
You got good hands.
Yeah, they also made the mistake of letting me have writing cards.
Oh no.
So I would get into people's heads. I would figure out exactly what would make them pick my card, and I'd do that. And that's why I started going. That's why I started going. You fool! I got so into the psychological warfare, that I would write cards pretending to be other people's cards, right? Like they would get this. Okay, this one is definitely not Bronny's. Get started. I would give them just enough that they would get a sense of what type of card I would write in, or what type of card I would put in, and then I would switch it up and pretend to have somebody else's sense of humor.
That sounds like it could be a focus of a Buck to the Face episode.
How? It could be its own skit, perhaps, but not a episode of A Buck to the Face.
Well, the fact that you have the skill of thinking in other people's minds. You just have to match up with the episode. And I'm not sure if there's one after the point you're at that does that.
Yeah, I don't think I could apply that to the context of A Buck to the Face, but like I could definitely use it in a skit where I just kind of play both sides, like freaking Sidious.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized some of my coworkers might have been on drugs a while ago.
Okay, what? Elaborate.
State drops all the time.
So what brought about this train of thought?
I was just thinking about it, like, because we were talking about cosplay earlier, and I was thinking about cosplay again and how I can't put contacts into my eyes. I'd probably have to use eye drops. My old coworkers used to have to use eye drops a lot. In fact, they would share the same bottle. Wonder what that was about.
Possibly, very possibly.
We're all high!
I mean, you also worked in a warehouse, didn't you?
At some point.
So debris could just be in the air, but it's way more likely that, yeah, they were stoned out of their minds.
Yeah. It's funny the things I just don't notice. I'm just like, oh, eye drops, that seems normal.
You innocent little spring child.
I was actually born in the summer.
So I just had an idea that if neither of you had this idea years ago, I'm going to be very surprised.
Tell me.
Why don't you upload your comics to YouTube and have them voice acted?
You're right, I haven't thought of that. Mostly because my comics aren't very good.
No, I like them.
I need to get better, especially like the last few. They've just been kind of slapped together, so I would have something to post.
I'm pretty sure everyone wants to see the furries on the cancer cheese.
I need to just get better at drawing, or I need to get to a point where I can pay an artist.
Or maybe we just need to brainstorm ideas for you to execute.
Why are you so easy to tickle, Heather?
I don't like it. It's just who I am. I have sensitive skin. Look how white it is! This is from the sun not touching it.
You gotta become a bronze god like me.
Bronzy.
Hey, that works.
Write that down. Write that down. That's a comic idea right there.
Bronny, I know. These thighs be...
There was a video I saw a couple of days ago. This dude like takes up some pasta, like it's just a bag of rigatoni, and shakes it, and then his very clearly Italian girlfriend comes in the room. We're talking long, super smooth, jet black hair, dark skin, but like really just naturally tan. Just comes in the room and goes, "What do you want?" And he goes, "Oh, I just thought I'd call you over." And he's just still holding the bag of rigatoni right here. And she's like, "Oh, so you shakes the pasta to call me? Well, those are some stereotypes that I don't accept." She takes the pasta and walks out the room. And then he just goes like this. He puts his hands together like this and goes, bibbity bibbity. She comes back, flying back in the room. What'd you say about my mother? That one I'm going to turn into a comic. That's going to be Heather with the beggar rigatoni.
He's like, we want. Start calling over and be like, hey, find that fence, leave. And I'm like, hey, are you just gonna give me a very human hand?
I'm gonna have your horn light up, and it's gonna make it like a mana construct. I know they do that for Lyra in the fan comics all the time. They're like, headcanon. Lyra is Italian.
That's why she's so interested in humans.
Every time they got her in the comic, she's always like just lighting up her horn to make shapes in a hand of like gesturing and talking with the hands.
Wait, isn't Heather a Cali girl?
Yeah.
So you could do it twice. You could do the same comic twice. Have one with Heather with the Italian stereotypes, and then do another with California stereotypes.
Be like, oh, I just dropped all these Starbucks gift cards. Hope my Cali girlfriend doesn't come in here and try to take me on a trip to the cafe. And I'm just like, what do you want? We go to Starbucks?
That would imply I want to go to Starbucks with you.
Do you not?
Well, no, like, you could do the exact same skit as the Italian, except instead of shaking a bag of rigatoni, you're shaking a cup of Starbucks.
Boba tea.
I do like boba tea more than I like Starbucks. Is that a California?
Well, whatever it is, it's going to need ice in it so that it rattles.
Boba tea doesn't. It has bobas in it. So I'm like, what's up? You gonna drink that? Sure.
Do you want boba or do you want cheesecake tea? Cheese tea, that's what it is.
Oh, those are both good. You gotta put boba in cheese.
Okay, no, let's toss.
I don't think they would go well together. Like they barely go
Wait,
well.
no.
They barely go well on their own.
No, they go.
One way to find out.
I
I wouldn't have known I liked root beer mixed with orange juice until I tried it.
Did you ever tell the stream about cheese tea?
Listen, Emerald, did you just say you didn't think you'd like orange juice until you tried it?
No, root beer mixed with orange juice.
Oh,
I'd be willing to try that.
About the juice. But I don't know, we have root beer floats for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Who thought of that?
Aaron Davis says the only thing we got good out of California was Arnold. Arnold had a very successful movie career long before his politics. He had a very successful powerlifting career before his movie career, before his politics. And his father was affluent in Austria before they moved over to America. So,
Aaron Davis, are you implying I'm not a good thing that came out of California? Or is that what you're implying right now? That I'm not good enough for you? I mean, that's what he was saying. And I was just like so offended he would just say that right in front
you're
of me.
being a Karen right now.
No, she's not being a Karen. She's being a Valley girl.
Yeah, freaking Karens don't get their feelings hurt. They fucking talk shit and ask for the manager.
Yep.
You know that.
Mm.
Of course you wouldn't know that.
They get their feelings hurt if you give them any amount of pushback.
Yeah, they're gonna cry about it and then say like, "I'm a military spouse. Weren't you respect me?"
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you're a military spouse. And shouldn't you be home with your boyfriend?
Yes.
Oh, I've been watching a YouTube channel called Angry Cops.
Angry Cops? Okay, tell me about this.
It's a drill instructor, and he goes over like things in military life, or like stupid things that military personnel have done. And he has a bunch of different characters depending on what the thing is. Like his most famous ones, Operator Sam, though he hasn't brought him up recently. There's his drill sergeant persona, which I think is just called drill sergeant. He also has Bro Vet, which is like long-haired hippie veteran. He's got a dirtbag private character. And recently, with a Space Force skit, he made a new one called Private Potato. And he goes over things like people on TikTok being like, "Ugh, the military sucks. I washed out after 3 days." And he just absolutely eviscerates them and calls them out in their BS. one of my favorite videos from him is where he's watching the highest enlistment of the army. He told drill sergeants they can't shark attack privates anymore, and instead they do a thing called the first 100 yards. So he tore that apart.
We need to watch this channel then. It sounds really interesting.
Oh, it is.
How's it coming, Heather?
Well, doing.
Actually, very recently, he did a video about New York firing a bunch of nurses because they wouldn't get the jab, and then putting a bunch of military medical personnel in their place. Except for the fact that New York doesn't recognize their military medical training as the medical training they need to be in hospitals, and that's for good reason.
Yeah, these guys are stereotypically famous for, you know, you get a leg blown off and they're like, here's some Advil and a Band-Aid. And if they can't fix it with Advil and a Band-Aid, then they're, you know.
Did you guys ever hear of this thing that I think I heard it off Game Theory at one point? Because, well, it was a theory about how, like, you could take so many bullets in a video game and just get a med kit and be fine. And he was talking about how there was an experimental, like, injection drug that, like, if you had a whole bunch of bullet wounds, if you injected it into that area, like, it would kind of fill the holes with something and push the bullets out, and you could get up and keep going.
I didn't see that video.
That might be the one about the whatever it is from Fallout that lets you do that.
Yep. Aaron Davis says that's authoritarian. That's New York for you. New York is New York and California are certainly trying to outcompete each other for worst state in the union at the moment.
For anyone who in chat who thinks that the popular vote deciding the president is a good idea, California, New York, and Detroit are the reason why it's not.
Yep. They also got that same problem with just general, like, single cities deciding an entire state on the Electoral College. So things like that need to get worked out too. Because, like, most of the states will be, like, predominantly red, actually. Last several elections. Just red down the board. But then there's, like, one city in the state, and it's not just California, New York, Michigan. It's pretty much all the states, where one city where, like, 100,000 people live will be blue and turn the whole state blue.
Like, look at the Electoral College map of Nevada in the 2020 election.
Yeah.
It's nutty. All right, we got Vegas and we got Reno. The rest of the state's red, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I watched a video earlier today that was posing the idea of state electoral college, and he was talking about it like it's something that's been talked about before, but it was the first time I'd ever heard of it. So I'm mulling that idea over. I'm probably going to talk to some people that know more than I do and see what they think about it.
Like, one thing I think definitely needs to change the Electoral College, the rest of the country needs to work like Nebraska and Maine, where it's proportional, not just winner take all.
Run the details of that down on me so I can follow what you're saying here, because I don't know how Nebraska and Maine work compared to everybody else.
Well, basically, like, if in any other state, 60% of the state votes blue, 40% of it votes red. You got 5 electoral votes. All 5 of those are red. Nebraska, I'm just going to use 5 again because it's easy. I don't actually know what they have. But if it's 60% red, 40% blue, well, then you get 3 red electoral votes and 2 blue electoral votes.
Ooh, yeah, I like that idea. I think that's a lot better.
Yeah. Like, we don't need a bunch of states colluding so that the popular vote equals the national vote. No, we just make it proportional. That way, people's voices matter based on percentages.
What do you think, Heather?
It's a little over my head. I'm a little tired to think about it.
You gonna make it the last 15 minutes?
Yes.
All
My
right.
hand is itchy.
You need me to go get your itch cream?
Now scratch it. It tickles.
How's that?
I don't have a hive there.
I wish that I wouldn't. I wish that I weren't volume limited right now by my surroundings, because otherwise I'd wake you up with some drill sergeant.
Just read after the stream. I'll be able to go right to bed.
117 War Spartan wants to know, hey Heather and Brawny, do you think he'll do a prank call with Jasper Pie?
Well, he hasn't asked or anything.
If we ask him if he wants to do one, he'll want to do one. It's just a matter of finding the time to actually write it.
That's something to consider then.
Yeah.
I think you had an idea.
I know I did have an idea. I still do. I know exactly what it is, and I know he'd be down. We just gotta get around to doing it. I need a day where I'm not, where I'm not working on another video or trying to repair something around here. And he's got a full-time job now too, so he's gonna have scheduling issues as well. I should check on him. It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's always good to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it might be a good plan. During these next couple weeks, while my computer is inoperable, I can pick up more hours at work, and maybe I can schedule a time to come down to Florida with you and just help you around the house, or do stuff for you around the house that you just don't have time to get to.
Oh goodness, how handy are you? Because some of this stuff is pretty hard.
Hit me.
All right, let's go down the list.
Get the mushrooms out of the walls.
No, yeah. Can you do roofing?
I
was
It's been a couple of years.
I was
but
talking to
did
my
help
younger
uncle
brother
with
actually,
roofing.
and he was like, oh yeah, I could totally do that for you if if I could come down. Let me see here. We got an air conditioner that needs repair. I wrote kitchen sink on here, but I just want to replace the kitchen sink. I want to get something like bigger. Patio lights and torches. So basically I have a pool and the patio around the pool gets really dark. I tried putting up some solar lights, but they ended up sucking. So I need to find a better lighting situation out there. And then I want to put up just some tiki torches to try to keep the bugs away. So there's something that would be really easy to do.
Heather hates bugs.
Oh yeah, that'd be super easy.
Yeah.
Heck, you could probably set them up with smart lights or something like that, and have them turn on at a certain
There
time
would
of
be
day or
no
with a
smart
certain verbal command.
technology in my house. Absolutely none. It's bad enough we have phones and computers. Let's see here.
Okay, fine. Basic timers and extended cords it is.
Thank you. How good of an electrician are you? Because this fuse box over here is screwy. It's so bad, it's hard to even describe on air. I need a new stove. My refrigerator, the water filter on it needs to get replaced. I want to put in some solar. I want to put in some solar panels. Want to completely rebuild the fence around the perimeter of the property because it is just literally
What kind of fence?
picket, just literally falling apart.
Oh yeah, that's super easy.
Oh, did you put up those signs?
I didn't put up those signs yet. I'll do it first thing in the morning. Let's see here. The mother-in-law suite. So for the chat that doesn't know, I've got this house, and there's two separate buildings on the property. One of them's a workshop. It's out in the back behind the pool, and then over here there's another separate house that's basically like a studio apartment. It's called a mother-in-law suite, and it's and what I want to do is I just want to get that ready for use because it's got some things wrong with it. Would probably take about $700 or $800 to get it fully operational. It needs a new air conditioner. It needs some just general cleaning. I need to put in a ceiling fan, some lights. I need to fix up the sink. But with a little it needs to be power washed on the outside. So yeah, let's see. Out on the patio by the pool, there's sort of an area that would be really good to have a barbecue pit. I want to lay some cement and level that off and get that good for use. The workshop. The workshop needs to be completely emptied out and cleaned. That's probably going to take like 3 full days. The laundry room, at this point, with the problems we've been having with the roof and the mold it's been getting, it's probably going to end up just needing to get rebuilt. The bathroom sink in the master bedroom needs to get replaced, and that's about it. So yeah, that's the list. Oh, also, I didn't put something important on the list I need to. I need to make a path from the laundry room to the patio.
Fine path.
So
It doesn't have to be something like big, fancy, or complicated.
Yeah,
It's really just like clear a path. Maybe we'll lay down gravel or some crap. It's because when I walk through that area, I have to wear pants and be covered because the grass or whatever the hell grows around here irritates my skin when I walk past it. And I mean it to the degree where I get
she breaks out and hides instantly. It sucks.
Yes, we always have to. I always have to wear pants, or that place has to be like mowed down.
Yeah, so what we want to do is just draw a path and like put down some wood and some gravel or something like that, or maybe some stones, and just make a path from the back door in the laundry room to the patio. Because what she does is she takes the pad from Knife's litter box over to the patio to hose it off.
Yeah, it's like, and I don't want to walk through the house with that thing, so going through the
Yeah,
laundry
because
room.
it's going to be dripping cat urine. Yeah.
And it is an awful smell.
I can smell cat urine, so you know you got a problem.
God damn it.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise trying to clean those indoors. Did I ever tell you about my first time trying to do that?
Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, by the way, Heather.
I tried to clean it with bleach.
Stream last 9 minutes in stream. Last minute comments, questions, or concerns, please say them now. Everyone hold your silence until the next stream. Yet bleach. I mean, I get why you would, but you should really use like a spray that's meant for that. I actually have a particular spray that I use to clean up knife stuff called Urine Be Gone. It's for that thing.
I learned a very valuable lesson about using the right tools for the job after I accidentally mustard gassed myself.
Jesus. Could have died.
Yeah. Because cat pee is full of ammonia. Bleach plus ammonia equals mustard gas, for those of you who don't know.
You could have, like, especially, like, when I'm smelling cat pee, it's just so pungent with stuff. I had to go like this today, because I'm like, I literally can't breathe.
Spencer's over here like that one dude from the Whitest Kids You Know. Never take puff syrup, mix it up with iodine, and lie.
What does that do?
Because you never saw that video? It was a whole song. This dude was like making an educational song for kids and on like the safety of household cleaners. And he's like the first verse is never take puff syrup, mix it up with iodine and lie. And he just repeats that like 7 times before going, because that's how you make crystal meth.
Oh.
And it's 5 different horrible things that you can make with just common household items like that.
Well, I mean, now
Well,
to do it. But if you were in the business for that, now you know.
Mm-hmm.
Educational, so many different levels. I think my favorite bit from Whitest Kids You Know had to be Getting High with Dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's something. One skit I saw from them recently was like Kitty History of the World, and it just basically like goes down all the conspiracy theories of the last 100 years.
Kitty conspiracies, they call it?
Yeah, no, it was like Kitty History of the World. I showed it to you.
Gosh, I can't remember. Because I'm like, Kitty, I'm like, so it has cats in it.
Yeah, but it's like cats from like the JFK assassination.
Oh my God.
And they're singing like, and then they put in Kitty Lyndon B. Johnson, who doubled down in Vietnam and brought up George Bush's career, who then became the Kitty president, you know.
Oh my God.
And it's just reenacting history, but with cats.
Beautiful.
Yeah, except it's all
Actually-
like really horrible, like incestuous, like parts of U.S. history.
Huh.
Yep. You only
You
got
guys
5
happen
minutes
to
left,
know
Heather.
about some of Lyndon B. Johnson's questionable behavior?
Yeah, I know about it. The one that's always sticks out in my memory is that he went up to some dude and just started urinating on his leg because he's the president of the United States, and are you going to say anything, right? Just total power move. And of course, the guy let him get away with it. Why? I would never have let him get away with that. I would have been in the headlines for decking the president of the United States right unconscious at that moment.
I had not heard about that incident.
Oh yeah, he was all over the place. A lot of people are pretty sure he's the one that organized the JFK assassination. So
I've heard about him calling in aides to have briefings while he was on the pad,
yep.
or when he was in the bathrooms in the White House or Capitol or whatever. He'd turn to the people next to him, show him his Johnson, and say, "Have you ever seen anything quite so large?"
We elect people like this.
You know, the
Yeah,
funniest part is his paired with that behavior is his initials, LBJ.
Yep. Heather, how's today been?
Today was a busy day. We helped a friend move from an apartment to a house today, so that was nice.
It
And
was a pretty easy move. It only took us a couple of hours.
yeah, and they took us up weeks.
Yep, we got wings, and I got a Reuben. I shared it with Heather.
Had garlic bread, which was really just toast. But
Yeah, there was no garlic on that bread. I was actually just a little bit upset about it. I'm glad I wasn't paying for it.
yeah, good wings though.
Like, I don't think I've ever sent something back to the kitchen in my whole life. I was considering sending back that garlic bread. Like, could you actually put some garlic on this toast?
Whoa, bread with no garlic.
And that garlic bread was $1.
I mean, I know they got the garlic butter and parsley back there, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put the garlic butter and the parsley and whatever other Italian seasonings you have on hand on the bread, and then you're supposed to stick it in the oven, not the toaster. They didn't even bother doing that. They were just like, yeah, bread, toaster, frickin', garlic bread. Here you go. Offend my people.
I was
Offend my taste buds.
Yeah, I was like, this is toast.
It was mediocre toast at that.
Yeah. It's kind of burnt. It's like all the worst.
I think it was probably either like one of those cheap French loaves or a hot dog.
Too bad they
It
didn't have
might
a
have been a hot dog.
Sunday
It was kind of shaped like a hot dog bun.
Yeah, I was looking at it like, I think this might be a hot dog bun. I think my mom was like toasted me a hot dog bun once just because we had a whole bunch of hot dog buns and nothing to make toast with. And it looked kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I'll try to finish this leg. I don't know.
We got to get a leg up on the competition, Heather.
I think you need a leg in this go.
I'm going to go eat some legumes.
None for me, please. I'm allergic.
I'm trying to make that into a leg pun, but allergic? What?
You're not being very legical right now.
I think you'll see my work as very legible.
I think you need to work out the logistics of these puns you're making.
It's gonna be pretty hard.
Look at you two, so thigh and mighty.
That's a
like
good
that one.
Yeah.
Last minute of the stream, and last minute comments, questions, and concerns. Shut up. Next stream. Hilarious. Equestria guy says, I think we better leg it.
You enjoyed today, Heather?
Oh, yeah. The stream's over! Everyone shut up! Okay, never mind. Unshut up. Oh! Ryan, say goodnight.
Good night.
Emerald, say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, I guess Angel Speed is right. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Yes. So I'll take this moment to thank my patrons. There's Boomer Brony, Emerald Spencer, Aaron Davis, DJ Skywalker. If you'd like to join them on my Patreon server, the Candy Kingdom, you can go ahead and join them on Patreon. If you click the link in the description, it just takes $10 per post to join this such esteemed Discord server. It's very exclusive.
Let the hate flow through you.
Something like that, yeah. If you don't feel like doing that, you feel like I'm not worth as much, you can give me $2 per post and you can get a kazoo cover. That you've seen those. Those are videos on my channel. They're awesome.
When's the next one coming out?
Shut up. Anywho, if you feel like I'm worth just a one-time donation, you go ahead into the description. There's a link to my PayPal. Give me however much you think I'm worth. No negative numbers, please. If you want current updates on the stream, you can go ahead, hit that link in the description. That's for my Twitter. Next week, we'll try another gaming stream. Yay!
Yeah, we're doing gaming streams here now.
Yeah, you guys like
Next week's is going to be very spooky.
Spooky is good for this season. It's very nice. Anywho, with that, I guess it's time to say good night. We'll see you next week.